that invest in the U.S. and create jobs here. Eliminate the loopholes that distort the economy, increase taxes on corporations, the profits of which are associated with externalities such as pollution, reduce the bias toward leverage by making dividend payments tax deductible but imposing a withholding tax. I mean, these seem so commonsensical that a journalist can understand them. But
do. They distort reality. But here's the thing. There's nothing fake. There's nothing inauthentic about distorting reality, because the distorted reality becomes real the moment that perception becomes the main operating system. The moment you adopt that vision as truth, it becomes truth. Mankind decided we would fly, it became truth. Mankind creates technology that folds space and time so that minds can communicate instantaneously across digital screens. Somebody hallucinated this technology into being.
I believe you said that, and you you distort things and make fun of people, so it becomes much nastier. And it's Gen Z, and especially Gen Z girls, are the ones who suddenly get depressed and anxious. So I'm in a debate now. I can't say that this is established.
Tiny hitch. To do this, he had to distort land masses and bodies of water so those furthest from the equator got larger and those closest to the equator shrank.
Elephants, you distort that ecosystem, and it would be a disaster if the elephant disappeared.
Desperate efforts to deny or distort the history of the nation and the state's genesis. Nation-making is its own kind of utopia, but a utopia built on forced assimilation of populations, sometimes driving them out or even massively killing them.
Humanize each other, if they would not purposefully distort facts, just in the way people behave, I think you could change the tone in Washington in a fairly significant way and in a fairly short period of time.
They distort things. You can see them messing up the enterprise of getting to know things. Summed up really nicely by Margaret Mead, one of the students put together Google Docs. If it is science, says Nels Anderson about Margaret Mead,
They distort it tremendously in this absurdly exaggerated video. Here's the burst.
That we see and distort it. I think people have to know about those things. They have to collect the data, but they also have to be very wary about how they interpret it and look for other ways of getting data.
Graphics program to distort the different images and then put them back into a circuit that showed some of these distortions. They used a laser-controlled cutter to cut out these circuits and put them onto plexiglass. So you got the multi-layered diagrams in different sizes and shapes. And then they made these maps of.
A limiter makes sure that your sound stays under a certain threshold so that it doesn't distort. This is useful if you're recording something like a live concert, when the
tendency that can pervert and distort our faith. In today's world, when hate groups have their own Twitter accounts and bigotry can fester in hidden places in cyberspace, it can be even harder to counteract such intolerance. But God compels us to try. And in this mission, I believe there are a few principles that can guide
and try to avoid things that confuse or distort reality. Nobody disappeared from Richmond, Virginia, or New York, or Detroit, or LA in the 1980s and 1990s. Instead, case by case, people were arrested, prosecuted, convicted, and sentenced. They didn't disappear. They were removed from their neighborhoods to state or federal prisons.
Right. Just to alter what we see. And it might make it more clear, it might make it closer up, it might make it blurry, but the literal function of a lens is to alter what we see. It's what